It's okay. Yeah, we forgot what Tom wrote, so it was okay. So Coach, what's gotten to you and your gals playing so well right now?
Great question. They're playing really great team basketball. Unselfish, they're competitive. I think they're rising to challenges and staying together and doing a great job at that.
How do you think they're handling this success right now early on?
I think they're just doing a great job. Every game is a challenge for them, so it's a new adverse situation to kind of take to heart and get the most out of it. I think the last 2 weeks have been focusing on getting our defense better and saw a lot of improvement on the road. We knew that we were going to have some really solid defense and keep both teams off the glass, which was a very big challenge to do. It wasn't as good as we would have liked, so we can still improve, but definitely in the right direction.
Has there been one aspect that surprised you about their play?
You know, I think the best surprise last week was Kayla DeWitt when we were at North Dakota with a lot of foul trouble. And, you know, you rely on your bench to come in and contribute, and Kayla came in and hit like 3 shots right in a row and just really gave us a lift and kept us in that game when we were cold offensively and struggling to get us into that second half with putting us in a place where we could work from.
You guys go from playing a North Dakota team that's 6-0 in conference to Weaver, who hasn't won a game yet in conference. How do you get your team kind of pumped up for this matchup this week?
I think we keep them focused on our game plan. I think that's the bottom line is Weaver State is very dangerous in a lot of different ways. They're extremely athletic. They've put a lot of teams on the ropes in late game situations, and for us it's just to kind of take to heart what the game plan is for each week and each opponent and really being great at that. And I think that was where we had success this past week, really taking both game plans to heart. I thought our team executed that extremely well on both ends of the floor, and that's what we're going to continue to try to do.
You mentioned Kayla DeWitt. I know she had a long time off. What gave you the confidence that she could get back to this point?
Well, you know, Kayla has been really consistent in a lot of areas the whole way through. I think she's just playing behind a couple of very consistent players as well. And, you know, with Ashley playing some more reps at the 3, and then Lexi Dawkins has been getting more minutes, there's been those times where Kayla can come in and do some things from a defensive standpoint. I thought the North Dakota game would be a perfect game for her because of her strengths and her rebounding ability. We felt like we were going to need to go to her anyway with her physicality component, and you know, most of their bigs stay around the basket, so Kayla wouldn't get pulled out to the perimeter as much. And I thought Kayla really just produced in a lot of ways on both ends of the floor. She took 2 charges on the defensive end for us, and from the offensive end, I already addressed her ability to score. She's pretty deadly around that elbow area. Anything 15 feet in, I think every player on our team has confidence in her. And I think the strengths of this team is the fact that we have 9 deep, that the entire team has a lot of trust in each other, that everybody's going to contribute.
We've talked about your strategies, the different strategies you've used, attacking the boards. What did you guys do against North Dakota? That's one of the best rebounding teams in the country.
Well, we gave up 23 O boards, so I wouldn't say ask us for the answer on how to do that correctly. But we did put up some O boards against them as well. You know, I think North Dakota they crash really early. They anticipate, and they have a lot of size, and so it's a challenge every possession. We challenged our players at halftime that we had to get a lot tougher in the second half. We had quite a few rebounds we gave up on the free throw line, even when we actually got the rebound and they pulled it out of our hands on outlets. In the second half, I thought we did a much better job with that. But we did play a lot more zone in that game, especially going into it. We knew we were going to change it up, but then when we got into foul trouble, we played it a lot. You probably even saw Asha Cole at the bottom of our zone when we had our small lineup in, and she was really physical on the bottom line of our zone, so they did a really great job.
Jasmine was Big Sky Player of the Week. Is this in any way like validation of the progress she's made in the year or so that she's been here?
Well, I think it's you know, it's an individual accolade that it usually will highlight a team's accomplishments for the week, and so just really proud of what our team did this last week, and Jasmine had a really solid week as well, 2 great second halves, and just so happy for her to be recognized for that performance. But at the same time, they know that's an individual performance, and the team's much more excited about what we did overall.
Well, is she the smoothest, most fluid post player you've ever coached?
I wouldn't say she's the most fluid, but she's certainly doing a great job being consistent for us. We've had a lot of great post players come through this program. You've got your Nubia Garcias, and Rachel definitely was not described as smooth. So very different personalities in games from that aspect. But she's just doing a great job of being Jasmine and playing to the kind of post player she is. And when we opened up the second half at North Dakota, there was something that changed for both her and Ashley out of the gate. And we were in the bands afterwards, and I was telling Ashley, whatever you two decided at halftime, keep doing that. And Ashley said, well, we just decided we're going to play, because they were on the bench the first half. So just came out with a really aggressive mindset and did a lot of things off the bounce that game too. That was one of the things we tried to exploit was we knew it was going to be a game speed versus size, and we certainly used our speed at times to try to challenge them off the bounce.
Where's Jasmine at as far as reaching her potential?
Well, she's a sophomore, so she has a ton of room.
Do you see a ton of
You know, the part that I'm most excited for her was her rebounds that game. You know, that's the area we've probably challenged Jasmine the most, is being consistent on the boards, and she was on the glass on both ends of the floor that game. So really proud of that performance. But yeah, lots of room for improvement as always.
This, you guys are off to a fast start in conference, similar to last year. What do you guys have to do to keep that going and not allow the second half you guys had last year?
Well, we're breaking down our seasons right now. I think that's a big portion when you get to a year-round sport. You got to shorten your goal frame, and right now we're doing everything by 2-week intervals until we hit the second round, then we'll shorten it from there. So right now we're focused on getting better defensively this week, and I think we're in after what we did last week, we're in a really good place. I think our Monday's recovery day, Ashley just got out of the pool and doing some mental training, just giving a second day for the week for the bodies to recover will help also. But it also helps when you have passionate, motivated kids. They got to stay hungry. That's one of the things we addressed today in mental training is how you stay hungry and motivated will be the main difference. And right now our kids are feeding off of each other. They're playing hard for each other. And we have a team that cares about each other like they do. That keeps you energized.
Are y'all doing anything differently than what y'all did against Sacramento State?
You know, we did some things really well against Sacramento State. From an offensive standpoint, we had a great game. I thought defensively was our biggest struggle, so we've really improved on the defensive end the last few weeks, and we're going to continue to grow on that end of the floor.
Is that defensive improvement the biggest reason why you guys have won 3 straight road games?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think our offense is still doing some things really well. I think both halves at UNC and UND, our transition was a big portion of it. We were running really, really hard. I think the UND game, I don't know if I've seen our players run as hard as they did down the floor. And they probably had 6 or 8 points just on open court layups outrunning our opponent. So transition's something that they're doing really well. I think offensively our tempo is still maintaining. But when you have the balance like we have offensively too, I think that's been a huge key. We have a lot of production from different kids.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Coach.